Hey, what's up? Stick with me for a second. I'm testing a couple of things out here. Stick with me. I was just on a few minutes ago and I was on the Wi Fi, which I know is terrible. You shouldn't do it. But I decided to go get my EarthNet cable and plug it in and see if that makes a difference. All right. Maybe not. Looks like I'm going to be calling the cable company because this ain't working out so good. Let me know in the comments. Am I blacking out? Am I browning out? Am I freezing up? Because on my when I go check my YouTube, it's maybe I just can't handle both things at the same time. I don't know. I don't know. Boy, oh boy. But if we're just checking it out, Java with Jim, hanging out, having a cup of coffee Saturday morning, getting started. So Saturday's a light morning for me as far as messages. You don't get a lot of reaching out, a lot of emails. I don't get a lot of emails or Facebook messages or even Instagram messages from brands on Saturdays. Sundays I get a few. Friday nights I get a few, but Saturdays mornings usually quiet. So I figured I'd come on and we could talk on the Amazon Influencer Program. Are you improving? Was the thought I saw it in one of the groups. It was a conversation, and I said that's pretty interesting because some people are pushing. You got to get the 500 videos. You got to get everything out in your house. You got to get it up to a certain number, whatever the number is. You got to get up to that number. But I don't hear anybody ever talking about you need to be improving with every video. I don't hear anybody saying, have you upgraded your camera? Have you upgraded your lights? Do you have a good microphone? Nobody's saying that stuff. No, they act like it doesn't matter if you have quality or not, right? It's like quality is going to set you apart from anybody else, right? So if you're not giving quality, if you're not improving, if you go ahead and look, I don't know how much research that you do, right? I mean, I'm not a big research. I don't like to go look into other people's stuff, but when I do, I'm amazed at the crap that's out there. Shaky videos, dark videos, bad audio. For shop videos, right? And I don't know. That's great when you're starting out. But if you're not improving with every video, if you're not reinvesting in your business, right? If it's a business, if it's a hobby, whatever you call it, your side hustle, if you're not improving all the time, what's the fun in that? No matter what hobby you do, whether it's golf, whether it's bowling, whether it's whatever it is you do, dancing, whatever you do, you're always going to upgrade your stuff. You're going to get better stuff. New stuff comes out all the time, right? Better stuff comes out all the time. New and improved stuff comes out all the time. So, you got to improve yourself. If you're not improving yourself, if you're not looking at, and analytics stinks, right? Analytics stinks, but there are things you can look at. You can look at how long people look at your videos, right? So like I looked at videos and so they're going to fall off at a certain point where they're going to watch 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 15 seconds, right? So, do you say something in those 15 seconds? Do you have a structure in your video that at that point in the video, are you saying, hi, I'm Jim, I'm from Topeka, Kansas, and this is my review, right? Or like, are you saying something that puts people off, right? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, but you got to check it out. But if you're not improving, if you're not looking at your stuff, if you're not saying, how come that's not converting, right? Because it's one thing to throw up 500 videos up there. It's another thing to have quality videos that are going to convert for you, right? That are going to convert. Now, we were talking also about strategies, Amazon Influencer Program strategies. There's a bunch of them, right? I try to do multiple streams of income where I try to test things and I keep things separately. So I have brand deals, right? Brand deals are a big part of it. Reselling products are a big part of it, right? Getting paid to do videos is a big part of it. The problem with doing that strategy and that strategy alone is that most of those videos, most of those products, even though I'm ranking on top and bottom carousel on almost every one of them, they don't sell, right? So those products that I get, and I get paid between $25 and $55 per video to do those videos. So I do get something compensation, but they're not earning me money monthly, right? Because they're not getting sales. So what's the other strategy? What are you left with? Well, investing your earnings and buying products, right? Now, even in that, there's strategies. So if you're reinvesting into products, are you reinvesting and only buying in a certain category? Are you only buying outdoor furniture? Are you only buying tools? Are you only buying electronics? Are you only buying clothes? Right? Like people tend to niche down when they're buying stuff because it's stuff they like, stuff they want to use, stuff they're using in their house, right? And it can get overwhelming. Now you're buying all these things, right? And there's no guarantee you're going to make money. See, I've done this strategy, and I do the strategy, but on a large scale, if you're, let's say you're reinvesting $1,000 a month in buying products, if those products aren't making you $1,000, you're losing money, right? So those products have to earn money. So how do you do that? Research, and is it a guarantee when you do research if that product is going to make you money? No, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee at all because Amazon's in control, right? You're helpless after the upload. This is what makes me go, what strategy is the best strategy? Because you research a video, there's no videos in the carousel. There's it's got sales per month, and you go ahead and do the video, and it's up there, right? So, but still, Amazon caps your clicks, right? In case you didn't notice, right? You get to a certain point, and Amazon caps your clicks. So, how much can you improve? How much can you get your stuff exposed more? You can't. You're totally out of control of it. Amazon's totally in control. And the problem with that is, let's say, and a lot of people tell you to do this, you got to tweak the video, you got to change the title and thumbnail, you got to blah, 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 blah. Well, every time you tweak it, it falls out of the carousel to be reviewed again. Now you got to fight your way back up into the carousel. So, I mean, if you're following that kind of strategy where you're upgrading your title and thumbnail because, whatever reason, just realize they're going to review the video again, and you're going to go back into the queue, right? I say queue. I don't know. Is it queue or queue? I don't know. But they go back into the queue, and you get reviewed and maybe get placed again and maybe not, right? So you don't want to just go do things willy-nilly. So the different strategies, right? It's interesting, the strategies that people have and that they swear by them. Like some people I know swear by reinvesting. If you're not reinvesting into your business, blah, 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 what kind of business? Every business reinvests. Maybe that's true, right? I do have a problem with Amazon not giving me any control after the upload. So, I mean, that is a definite issue. So if you're starting out, right, and everybody tells you the same thing, run through your house, video everything in your house that's sold on Amazon. You don't have to have bought it on Amazon. You could have bought it at Walmart. You could have got it as a gift. If Amazon sells it and Amazon sells everything, you can run through your house and do videos on everything. Your fork, your matter of fact, take the batteries out of everything and do the videos on the batteries. And I've done this, right? Run through, take the filter out of the air, do the thing on the filter, do the thing on, you break stuff down. Like I did a video on a vacuum cleaner, and I know from being a hotel handyman years ago that you could take one of those vacuum cleaners apart. You could order every part from the manufacturer's Auric vacuums, and you could put the thing together and build yourself a whole vacuum from the parts. You could buy every part and build yourself a vacuum. So I broke down a video of taking the freaking thing apart and doing a video on every replacement part of that vacuum. None of them sold. None of them sold. I spent all this time doing videos on batteries and hoses and replacement heads and none of them really took off. You make some sales, but so running through the house and doing every video because you have to get to this magic number of 100 videos, 500 videos, 1,000 videos, 2,000 videos, 5,000 videos, whatever the guru you're listening to is telling you, right? You have to get to this number, and then the magic happens. It doesn't happen that way. Let me tell you, smack it in the face. It doesn't happen that way. When I started, and tell me if I'm wrong. So right away, I started making $1,000 a month within my first 3 months, and this is like 2021 when it first started. I was making $1,000 a month right off the bat with like less than 100 videos, right? So that being said, by the time I got to 1,000 videos, I should have been making 10 grand a month. Right? It should scale, right? It should scale. Everything scales, right? Isn't that the way it works? Everything scales. It's not the way it works. It does. Amazon Influencer Program does not scale, right? It does not scale. So then you get the 100,000 a year per strategy. Right? You want to get to 100K a year, right? But Amazon obviously doesn't scale properly. So the more videos you make, a lot of guys will tell you, I've got more videos and I'm making less money than I was making. And that's true. I'm making less money too. Most people, I think, are making less money. If you were in from the beginning, I think a lot of people are making less money today just on commissions, right? But you have to break it down. So how do you get to 100,000 a year? It's like 275, 280, I think, 280 a day, right? So if you're getting Amazon commissions of 280 a day consistently, you're making 100 grand a year. So I rounded up to 300, right? So make $300 a day, 7 days a week, 356 days a year, and that's 100 grand a year. That's like 130, right? But you got to pay taxes, right? So you got to make a little extra. But so how do you do that? Well, my strategy is try to get to $100 a day commissions on Amazon, right? Build it up to so you're making $100, and we're going to talk about how to do that in a second, right? So stick with me. We're going to also do brand deals. Now, if I can do brand deals for $25, $50 a video, and I can secure between 2 and 5 of them a day, right? We can make more than $100 in that area. Just securing videos to be videoed, products to be sent to me to do to make Shopify videos for a fee, right? Then I can take those products that I'm getting, and I can go on Facebook Marketplace, I can go on Whatnot, and I can resell these products. I can have a garage sale, right? And I can resell them and hopefully make $100 a day reselling stuff, right? Facebook Marketplace is hit and miss. Some days I make more, some days I make less, but you're trying to average out, right? So if you sell 2 or 3 things at 50% markup, of what it's worth because it's an open box, right? Brand new open box, people still want it for $1, right? But so that's that strategy. So you got 3 things going, right? Now in those 3 buckets, there's strategies in those 3 buckets, right? And so there's multiple streams coming out. There's the 10 fingers going out, and all 10 fingers are making a little bit of scratch, right? So if the pinky all of a sudden isn't making money, then the index finger will bring it in, and it'll average out between all the income streams, right? But there's other people that'll stick to just one thing, and that might be my issue, that I'm bouncing around and I'm trying to do everything. But with the YouTube channel, I'm trying to expose what works, what doesn't work. For the Sunday mastermind that we have, and I call it's not a mastermind, it's a focus group, right? 9 o'clock Sundays we meet off platform, and we can talk shop. 9 o'clock. Yeah, check that out if you like. Like I said, I'm not a guru. I'm just somebody who's been doing it a while, and I can talk my way through it. So I'll MC it, right? I'll host it, but it's first of all, I have the space, so I'm going to use it. We're going to create a space. I call it the union. I call it the guild. The Amazon Influencers Guild. Creators On is what I call it. Creators On, and again, it's the water cooler. I'm not a guru. I'm not leading the show. I'm not telling you to do it my way, right? I want to know how you do it, and I want to tell you how I do it, and then we can come to an agreement in the middle and figure out, hey, maybe that's a good idea. I want to try that, and I leave these meetings all the time with a fresh idea, or to tweak something that I'm doing. I didn't know I could do that, right? I mean, there's some people that are in different categories, like fashion, right? That I'm not exposed to, so I don't have, and they'll say something they're doing in fashion. I'll be like, wait a minute, I can apply that to what I'm doing, right? It's crazy. So, I mean, you really have to get involved with some kind of group, whether it's mine, whether it's somebody else's. Right now, my mentor Billy has a mastermind group. It's going up in price, but it's worth every penny. I've definitely made some money from the adjustments that I've made from hanging around with him. And if you're interested in joining a mastermind that's really, really working, you can private message me, or send me an email. Let me pop that up there. I'll put my email up there for you, right? And just send me an email, say you're interested in Billy's mastermind, and I'll reach out and I'll get you a link, or I'll put you in contact with him. But yeah, he's total access to you. And I got a comment here. Hey, Weekend Keegan. Huh. Not sure I know what that means. Yep. All right, so we're gonna get that down. Oh, and I forgot about this. Logie wants my contacts. Can you imagine, you guys, who's in Logie? All right. So I was in Logie at the beginning. If you check out my videos, I was pushing Logie to a bunch of people, so people would join Logie, right? That's the dumb joke. I was trying to figure out what you meant, but it probably was something from something else. But sometimes the comments come way after the point where you put them. So I notice them later, so I don't know what it refers to. But Logie. So I did a lot of videos on Logie when it first came out. Logie's a decent platform for influencers, right? So did all this content for Ehud, and got a bunch of people to sign up under my link. Got zero for it. Zero. Okay. Kept telling me, don't worry, we're going to monetize. We're going to get it done. Blah, 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 blah. So I just stopped doing it, because it was just, first of all, they kept changing stuff. But the videos I was doing were irrelevant, because they kept changing stuff. And I couldn't keep up with the changes, because I was doing so much other stuff. I would have had to just been a Logie guy in my head and just done Logie stuff, with all the changes they were doing. But now they just came out with the affiliate program. I'm like, oh, finally, the affiliate program. I have all of these people that signed up to Logie under my link. I'm set. I'm going to be good. Think again. They want you, check this out. They want you to go to brands that you work with and give them the Logie affiliate link, and you'll get $100 to sign them up. Some stupid thing like that. Now, I got brand deals with these guys that I'm making $25 to $50 a video. They're sending me freaking products every week. Why would I give that to you? Why would they work with me after I did that? Then you're going to send them all the other influencers they can work for free with. Why the hell would I do that? Ehud, why would I do that? I've worked to build these relationships with these brands. They're my contacts, and you want them? That's crazy. That is crazy. All right. I can't imagine that you thought that through and said that's a good idea. Because why would I do that? And why would they? They're going to jump onto Logie, and then I'm going to lose my contacts, and they're not going to work with me. And so you say, oh, you'll be number one. When they put brands in, you'll be number one person chosen for those people. Yeah, but I was getting paid already from those people. Now I'm not getting paid, and I'm doing the video. You're going to give me an extra percentage. Logie gives you an extra percentage, kind of like Creative Connections. You get extra percentages. But again, it's out of your control, right? You upload to Amazon, it's out of your control. So now I'm losing money, and I'm giving away my contacts. Look, Ehud, we got to talk about that. That's not good. It's not good. I did not like it. What happened to all the people I signed up as Logie's people? All the influencers I signed up. Ungats. I got Ungats. All right. Jesus Christ. So that's kind of like, and I kind of felt it. So I kind of like moved away. I was going to the Friday masterminds, and it was hard enough for me to go to the meetings. And I was going to the meetings religiously there was two hours of meetings every week. And I was doing it while I was working, drive myself nuts trying to figure this all out. And now I figure all for nothing. So that was great, and we'll go back to, are you improving? Okay. So are you improving with every video? Now, I say it again. I don't hear people saying this. I don't hear anybody saying this. I hear them all saying the same thing. Run through your house, do videos on everything that Amazon sells in your house. Get yourself to this fictitious number, 500 videos, 1,000 videos. You have to get to this number. Then you'll start seeing results. What if none of that stuff is selling on Amazon? What if you have a bunch of stuff in your house that maybe gets 50 sales a month? Now, out of those 50 sales, you'll be lucky to get one sale. So maybe you make 7 cents, something like that, right? Why? Why? It's not a fictitious number. That's not how it works. Amazon Influencer does not scale that way. It doesn't go, I'm making $1,000 with 500 videos. If I make 1,000 videos, I'll be making $2,000. It doesn't scale that way. It actually goes the other way. The more videos you have, the less money you make. It seems like, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyhow, I don't hear anybody saying you need to improve with every video. Okay, improve your lighting, your audio. If you haven't improved your audio, what are you doing? Right? I can understand people using natural light. Okay, I can understand people using their smartphones. They're good cameras, but I can't understand people not using a good microphone. I can't put my head around that one. Look at some of the other videos. They're garbage. A lot of the other videos are shaky cameras, bad lighting, bad audio, but so you're not improving, and no guru is telling you to improve. There's not one video out there saying you need to be improving your quality of your videos. Nobody. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. If you're not improving, what are you doing? If you're not looking at your content and saying, geez, I'm saying a lot of ums and ahs. Oh man, is that the way I really sound? Oh man, is that the way I really look? Oh man, I got to change this. Oh man, so it's like, are you looking at your stuff, finding out why it's working, why it's not working, what's making your videos convert or not convert? If you're not looking through all of that stuff, trying to get better, if you're not trying to be a better presence on the camera, if you're not trying to, here's another thing. Do you know what you're talking about in the video? Like, have you read the directions? Have you used the product? Or are you reading the directions as you're showing it, showing the people you know nothing about the product, right? I mean, come on, people, what are you doing? What are we doing here? And how many videos do you see that? I'm just unboxing it. I know nothing about it, but I'm telling you, you need to buy this right now, right? What are we doing, people? What are we doing? So if you're not improving, what are you doing? What are you doing, right? And if you're not, like I said, it doesn't scale. It doesn't scale that way. So if you're not improving, what can you do to ensure your longevity in the program, right? What's going to stand out? And I'm telling you, it's the quality of your videos. When you want to work with brands, right? They see your video, they go right to your storefront. Don't think it. They go right to your storefront. They're going to look at your storefront. They're going to see, is this person consistent? Does this person have good quality? Does this person know what they're doing? Then they're going to work with you, right? If you don't have good quality, it's not going to last. What do we got here? Oh, here we go. What do you think the best feature of Viral View is? Let me tell you something about Viral View. They just came out with a new feature. It was in there, but I just saw the video and I'm looking at it in the profits tab. If you haven't gone on the website, on the web app, and looked at the profits tab, you can pull up any product. It'll break down how much you earned each month for it, right? So it'll tell you these headphones cost $79, let's say. Let's say it's a 4% product, just for argument's sake. You're going to make 30 cents a month, just for argument's sake. It's going to take so much, so you can see how much you make each month and overall lifetime, if it paid for itself, if it didn't pay for itself, and you can see all of that there, right? So now you can make decisions, you can make choices, you can pivot, right, on your Amazon influencer strategy, right? And that's just one thing. The opportunity, it's not, what is it called? what is it called? It's the one, there's a tracker that'll go through all your videos and it'll tell you what videos you have that doesn't have an ASIN attached for whatever reason, whether it went out of stock, whether the company went bankrupt, whether they just changed the ASIN. Things happen over time, and I have 600 videos, I think, that don't have any ASINs attached to them. And every couple of days I go into this tool in Viral View and look to add an ASIN, try and redo them. But again, it goes back to, on those sellers. If it's a product that doesn't sell, you're wasting your time doing that, right? So there's got to be a way to look through it and figure out, okay, this one gets 3,000 sales a month. I'm going to want to be in the carousel for this one, so I'm gonna reattach an ASIN to this video, right? But yeah, so improving is the thing. So and I can go on every tool because product research. I bought 3 products yesterday that I needed, right? And I was shopping anyway, so I went on Viral View, went on the product tab, and showed me which ones were in Creative Connections, showed me which ones I had a better opportunity of ranking on the carousel, showed me. So now I spent $20 on the one product. Probably within 3 months, it will pay for itself, and it'll be an earner of me. So here's the thing: if you keep doing products, and you have 3,000 products that you're earning $5 a month for, right? That's a shit ton of money, right? That's $3,000 a month. No, it's not. 600 videos. So if you have 600 videos at $5, smack, 600 videos, right? And you're getting $5 a month commissions off of those, that's $3,000 a month. So if you are doing research and you're finding videos that are going to make you between $5 and $10 a month, right, after they paid for themselves, that's how you get into that bucket where you're getting to that $100,000 a year, right? That's how you get into the $100,000 a year. And let's go right here. Right, so I call it the 3 buckets, right? But most people just pick one strategy and go with it. But I'm doing brand deals, reselling products. I'm doing buying some. I'm not buying on a high scale. If I need stuff, and you always need stuff, let's be honest, right? You always need stuff. So I'm going and I'm buying stuff that I need through the tools, Viral View, and I'm starting to use Oink too. I just signed up for Oink yesterday, and I'm pretty impressed with that tool too. But so you do research and you get them so that you find products that are going to earn you $5 to $10 a month revenue, and you build up your Amazon influencer program that way, right? Okay, we got another question from Creative Heart, right? What's your main focus with Amazon Influencer at this point? I've lost interest in the program after being in for years because it isn't the cash flow. Well, it's not the cash flow it once was, right? It's not. And so let's talk about that. Where is the program today as opposed to where it was? I started in 2021. And I really didn't take it seriously. I mean, I took it as a side hustle, as extra money. I always had extra money to do extra things, take my family, do things, go dinner, go show, go to the game, whatever I wanted to do, go to the concert, right? I've taken plane flights that I would have never taken before. I've gone on vacations that I would have never done before, just on extra money from the program, right? Great stuff. But I never treated it like a business, all right? So now I'm starting to treat it like a business. You have to look at what's working. Amazon is always focusing on something different. And if you fall in love with something, like I'll give you an example. When I first started in 2021, live streaming was the thing. Everybody was doing live streaming and you were killing it with earnings, right? Because back then in 2021, when you went live on Amazon and you picked up a product and you highlighted it in your carousel, now you were on the product page of that product up on top where the top carousel is. You'd be up there. So when people were shopping, they'd see somebody's live and they'd click into the live, they could ask you a question and you could answer the question and they would buy it right then, right? Great. People were making money like crazy. I loved it. I went live every Tuesday for a year, right? religiously. I had a show I did a game show. I had fun. I gave away $20 every show because I was making money. Then they decided to change the algorithm and they weren't putting it on the product page and the whole thing tanked. I could have quit then. I could have said, I'm not making what I was making before, but I pivoted to do something different in the program. The program has multiple streams of income. You got your on-site, you got your off-site, you got your live streams, you've got your brand deals, you got your reselling. There's things to do in the program. Okay, to improve your income. So if you're not improving, again, like I said, if you're not improving, what are you doing? Right? If you're not improving, what are you doing? My focus is hitting where the iron's hot. Right now, Creative Connections is hitting where the iron's hot. And I'm starting to turn things around. Here's a secret. You can get paid from Creative Connections collaborations if you're good. Okay. So this couple of brands wanted to talk to me off the Creative Connections messenger service, one of my email. And it's you got to give them your email for shipping a lot of times. So they would message me email. I want to buy the content. I want the rights to the content to use on my stuff. Or the one I didn't realize, this is how I got into it. I got an email. I didn't realize they were in Creative Connections because I get so many emails. And I just gave them my regular spiel. This is what I charge per video. And they came back saying, okay, right. Then we're in Creative Connections and we offer 20% more. So they said yes to my price, right? And they're in Creative Connections, right? And they want to keep working with me afterwards because they like my content. So that's the thing. If you're not improving, what are you doing? If you're not improving, what are you doing? They are going to look at your storefront, okay? I am not in Amazon Vine. I don't know how to get into it. But I see, if you were already in Vine and you became an influencer, I think it's okay. But I don't think you can be an influencer and go into Vine because Vine is about written reviews and Amazon influencers, you can't do written reviews. So I'm not sure how that works, but be careful. You don't want to do written reviews. I don't even do written reviews on stuff I buy because I'm afraid that because you as an Amazon influencer, you can't do written reviews. Just don't do it. Okay. And of course, you never used Amazon Live. So, hey, Creative Heart, when did you start the program? What year did you start being an Amazon influencer? Yeah, Creative Connections. I mean, it has gotten better. I mean, let's face it. $100 product, if you're getting 2% commissions, is $2. In Creative Connections, you're getting 20%. Now it's $20. So that product you were getting $2 for, you're now getting $20 for. That jumps your commissions quite a bit. All right. So, I mean, it definitely worth it. Oh yeah. So yeah, check that out. Yeah. Don't believe the hype, man. I mean, people will tell you things. You got to ask. I'm going to tell you now. If you don't ask, the answer is no. Right. So, and guess what? Most of them say no. All right. No joke. Most of them say no. But that 10th time, it's magic, So there you go. 9 out of 10 times I get slapped, but that 10th time, it's magic. Anyway. You started in 2022. Yeah, a lot of people didn't really, they fell into it backwards. I fell into it backwards, and I never did any kind of reviews before I got into the Amazon Influencer Program. I had no idea what I was doing. I was a YouTuber, right? I did side hustles. I didn't do product reviews, basically. That was a separate thing. I kind of fell right into it, but it's worked out for me. Listen, man. So there was a 2-week period where the messages just stopped. And I'm going to tell you why. They were on vacation for a week. China goes on vacation. The whole country shuts down when they have holidays. When they have holidays, the whole country just shuts the hell down. And so for a week, they weren't in the office. They weren't answering emails. Nothing was shipping out. Nothing was happening for a week. Then they came back and Amazon had the glitch. For like 2 or 3 days, things were screwy. I was getting boxes delivered that were supposedly coming. So I mean, it took time. So now I'm starting. The past 3 days, I've been getting overwhelmed with messages. Again, it's Saturday, no messages. Monday to Friday, messages. Okay, so you got to check it out. Sunday night, it'll start happening. They'll start getting back into the office. And remember, they're 12 hours difference. So 9 o'clock at night, they're getting to the office 9 o'clock in the morning over there, right? So if you want to do business with the Chinese companies, right? And here I got something. Hold on, let me see. If you want to do business with Chinese companies, and come here, where's my mouse?
I love China. I love China. I love China.
I love China. Anyhow, there's something funny, but yeah. So they go on holidays and they close down, and then so now the if you want the Chinese sellers to see your stuff, you go live 9 o'clock at night, right? That they're just getting to the office 9 o'clock in the morning. They're turning on their computers and seeing what's going on, right? And you want to be available between 9 and 11 to answer emails, right? Or get up first thing in the morning and do it, right? While they're still in the office. You got to be in the office when they're in the office, kind of thing, to get that done, right? And here's a scary thought, man. I'm making sense. That's the scariest thing I've seen in a long time. Oh my God, he's making sense. Listen, I'm joking, man, and I know I wasn't going to put Trump there at all, right? I don't give a crap about politics. I really don't. The man's hilarious. Whether you like him or hate him, he's a character, and he says some stupid shit that's funny. I don't care if you like him or hate him. But I grew up in Queens. I grew up around Donald Trump. The guy makes me laugh. He is my uncle. I have 10 uncles just like him. So not politically like him, just like him. His mannerisms, the way he talks, the way he acts, the way he treats people. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah. But I thought that was funny because I can do, what else do I got?
We want deal. We want deal.
They want a deal. Yeah, we want a deal. We want deals. So anyhow, the tariffs. We could talk about the tariffs too. So the tariffs are a thing, right? People are saying he's ruining my business. He's ruining my business. I took my tariff thing off. China is the warehouse for the world, right? So it ended up that way. But things used to be made in Japan when I grew up. Everything was made in Japan when I grew up, right? And then everything was made in Korea, right? Now everything's made in China. I've been through this. It doesn't scare me, okay? India's just waiting. Korea's just waiting. Vietnam's just waiting. Mexico's just waiting for China to screw this up. If China screws this up, those other countries are going to become the warehouse for the world. I mean, they're just waiting for it, okay? And it's going to happen. If it's not China, and I hope it is, I hope nothing changes. But if it does change, I'm fine with it because I know the product's going to come from somewhere else, all right? There may be an adjustment time, right? But it doesn't matter. It's good. It doesn't matter. The program's not going anywhere. The products aren't going anywhere. They're just going to come from a different place. They're already coming from different places. I've got stuff coming from India regularly right now. I believe they're Chinese products, but they're being funneled through India, right? I've got a couple of people from Korea, same thing. I think they're coming from China, right? But they're starting to come from these other countries. It's going to happen, okay? It's going to happen. Don't worry about the tariffs. It's going to work out. This is a scare tactic that he uses, okay? This is what he does. He asks for the craziest shit, right? So everybody goes bonkers, and then he goes, "Oh, but we'll accept this." And everybody goes, "Oh man, thank God, we'll do that," because you were so afraid of the crap that he threw out there that he wasn't really intentionally. He knew he was never going to get that. It was just to scare you and put you back on your heels so you'll negotiate to what he really wants, and that's how he does things. So you can't go, "He said this." He don't mean that. He's just trying to get a negotiating place to start from, right? That's what it is. All right. I think I'm gonna sign off in a few minutes here. What time is it? We've been on for a while. absolutely, China is still the main player, and they probably will be the main player. Hopefully, nothing changes. But I'm not afraid if they screw it up, and they can screw it up, right, for themselves by being, dig their heels in. They're not going to bend. You got to give a little, China. You got to give a little, otherwise you're going to lose it all. You just got to. That's just unfortunately, there's a give and take. Negotiations happen all the time. Things change all the time, and it's just the way it is. You're just gonna have to deal with it. All right. No, they're not scared of Trump. But they shouldn't be scared of Trump. Who scared? That's nobody wants you to be scared of them. Just want you to be smart. Just want you to be smart. Let's work together. Let's everybody make some money. How's that sound? Instead of being an asshole, why don't we all make money? Shut the F up and let's just make some money. That's and I think it's going to come down to that in the long run. Whether you like Trump, hate Trump, like China, hate China, who cares? It's all going to work out in the end. And if you're dumb enough, and I'm not talking to you, I'm not talking to you, but if you're dumb enough to dig your heels in on one side or the other, you're going to look stupid when everybody comes together at the end shaking hands, right? Because guess what? They're all friends behind closed doors. They can put in the news that they hate each other and they don't work together. But when money talks, they're all shaking hands in the back room. Okay. There's no sense in you getting crazy. And I'm not talking about you, right? I'm talking about anybody, right? That's your opinion. I'm not even going to put up your last comment because that's personal attacks and stuff like that. And I'm not saying you're personally attacking them. You're saying what they said. Is why this is the most childish crap. Okay, it's the most childish crap. Just shut the F up and let's deal. Just shut the F up and let's deal. All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna cut it close. We're gonna sign off, and we're gonna start doing some Saturday mornings, and maybe Sundays. We'll see how I feel Sunday. Saturday mornings, we're gonna do Java with Jim. We're gonna talk about the program. Don't forget Sunday nights. We're gonna go live. We're not going to go live. We'll have the meeting. We have the focus group on Sundays at 9:00. If you want to go there, we'll be talking shop. Tuesdays, 9:00. I have a special guest coming on, Chris, from Average Guy Making Money channel. 100 grand a year earner, Amazon Influencer Program. He's got his own strategies. We're going to discuss with him. He's going to tell us how he's doing things, what's working, what's not working, how he got to 100 grand a year in the Amazon Influencer Program, and what he focused on, what he didn't focus on. I think it's going to be a great show. So yeah, if you have any questions you want answered in that category, send me an email. Again, you got my email, and we can definitely get that question asked for you. Where's my media assets? Here we go. So I'm going to leave you with a dance party. Okay, ready?